this is talking about a selection tool. We'll be looking at your Marquee tool. This is your Marquee tool, your lasso tool, and then also your quick selection and measure one tool. These are the three tools that you can make use to do selections. Okay, let's go through the most basic one, which is your rectangular or elliptical marquee tool. Okay, in order to expand this, you can right click on this. Do you see you have rectangular and elliptical?
Yes.
Now in this case, can you tell me which one is more suitable for us to use? Rectangular or elliptical? Elliptical. So can we click on elliptical? But before you start drawing, make sure you always double check your option bar. Remember I told you on the first day, every tools will have different setting on your option bars. So always double check your setting over here before you go and do anything. Otherwise later you will see different result from us if your setting is not the same. Okay, it's actually something got to do like make it sharpen. Okay, not pixelated, something like that. It's also like it's not so jagged.
If mark means?
Which mark?
No, if tick.
Okay, if you tick the options, right, because this CC interface is different from yours. Okay, if you tick it, right, that means later when you done the selections, right, they will try to make the pixel not so jagged. Okay, because when you use this, right, remember I told you on the first day, every picture is formed by what? So do you see it's block by block?
Yeah.
So when you use the anti-alias, right, they'll try to make it not so jagged. In a sense, it's not so squarish. Okay?
So you must tick or untick?
Okay, ideally you should take it lah, but I will show you how you can make use of the other tools better. Okay, so in this case, we're going to ignore that part first. Okay, so now I have chosen the elliptical marquee tool, right? Now, do you see feather? Please ensure it's 0 pixels. Okay, I'm going to show you what is the effect if you turn on the pixels later. Okay, yes, you know it already. Now, can we just click? Okay, one more thing to remind you, make sure your star is normal. Some of you might have the fixed size, then end up you'll have one fixed circle already. You cannot do anything. Okay, now can we click and drag one elliptical marquee like this to cover the lotus? Don't let go of your mouse, click first. Do not release first. Okay. Now, do you notice that sometimes it's not so straight and it's not so perfect, right? So how can you constrain your perfect elliptical? You can hold down the shift, hold down shift. Do you see right now your circle is so perfect? Do you see that? Hold down shift, don't let go of your shift, then you can move your mouse. Rather than, if you release your shift, right, you can distort. Do you see that? You can distort your circle.
I accidentally released.
Okay, if you release, for example, if you release like that, right, you all can release now. Okay, I'm going to show you how we can adjust back. Now, please bear this in mind. Whenever you're working with selections, once you have done the selection, please always go to select and deselect. Please remember this shortcut key, it will be very useful. Control D. Then it will be remove your selections. Okay? Now, once you have deselect, right?
To select, is there any shortcut key?
To select.
Deselect is Control D.
Control D.
Okay, depending on what type of selection tool you want to use. If you want to use the shortcut key, now you can just right click. Do you see there are shortcut key here? M is for marquee, whereas L is for lasso. Okay, for this, W is actually for measure one or quick selections. Okay, now let's focus on the marquee tool first. Okay, now your selection is gone, right? Now this is very bad thing happen if you go and you spend time effort to do a selection, then suddenly it's gone. Don't cry because you can save the selections. Okay, now let's try this. Okay, I go back to my marquee tool. Now click and drag another one. But if I want to ensure this is a perfect circle, what must I press? Hold down shift, okay, and then I enlarge a bit. Don't let go of your shift and mouse click first, don't let go. Now, Do you see that right now my circle is not so center? Now, if you do not release anything, you can add on and press the space bar, hold out the space bar, and move your selections.
The shift.
Shift.
Oh.
Shift you can let go, okay, but
And
you will
the shift
distort,
should
okay?
Together.
Yes,
Supposed to be together.
together. Okay, but if you let go of your shift, never mind, you can hold back your shift. You see, it will come back.
Shift is to
Shift,
side.
shift key is to constrain the proportions, okay? To restrict it lah. Okay. Now space bar is to move it. Okay. Now I can let go of my space bar now because the position is correct, but I still haven't released my mouse. Huh?
If I want to.
If I want to reduce the selection, you just move your mouse.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yours is already released. You cannot do anymore. If you released already, you cannot do it already.
So I must redo again.
Never mind, don't redo first. You stay. You see, I purposely release this because I'm going to show you the next step.
So I release the whole thing.
Yes, you can release now.
Become big.
Control D. Okay, can you redo first? Now, if you accidentally release your thing, right, or you see this is not accurate, right? Because I still want to put it nicely, am I correct? You can make sure you select the Marquee tool, put your cursor inside. Do you see there's a dotted cursor? And now, put your cursor inside the selections. Do you see there one cursor and then one square? Do you see? Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
Can you see this? Now, this is where you can move your selection. Do you see this? You can click and move them.
That is what shortcut key.
No, no shortcut key.
No, to get to the white arrow and the box.
No, whenever you select Marquee tool,
The marquee.
when you put inside, you become the cursor like this.
Oh,
Okay, this is just like your move tool, except that this is to move selections. Okay, I must repeat. If you go and use your move tool like this, then this will move the pixel like this. Then it's very dangerous because you mess up your original pixel. Yes, I know you always do this. Okay? So ensure you click on this and then put it here. Okay? Okay, undo once. Now, if you accidentally remove the deselect, right, you can just undo once. It will always come back with the selections. Okay? Now I'm going to adjust a bit the positions, or you can use your arrow up, down to move them. You see that? Okay? Okay? Okay, someone need to answer call? Don't need? Maybe you have message? Okay, now, right now I want to copy this to another layer, another Word document, right? Okay, there are a few ways to do this. I'm going to show you the first way. Can you click on your move tool now? Now, this move tool will move pixel or selections. It will move the pixels, right? So, okay, no need to do alternate first. That one is another way. Now, because you are moving to another document, so can you, okay, remember how to drag to another document? Can you put your cursor inside here? Click and drag. Do you see there's a,
Using the move tool, is it?
using the move tool, don't worry. Okay, move to your untitled one, come here, and then you let go of your mouse. But if you go back to your Lotus, it's still there. This is safe to do if only you are moving to another document. Okay? But I will not suggest this method because sometimes you all might mess up the original files. So I'm going to show you the next method, which is better. Okay, because you will not touch on the background layer. Okay. Now, so just now with the feather, remember I told you feather is 0 pixels, right? This is what you will get. You see, it's always straight, it's very solid. You see that? If I zoom in here, you see, it's all very sharp, the edges. Okay, I press Ctrl 0 first. Now, can you use your move tool? Use your move tool. Okay, can we move up a bit? And then can you rename this layer 1 to lotus with 0 pixels feather. Okay. So we know that 0 pixels will give us this effect. Okay. If you cannot see, I zoom in for you. Can see now. Okay.
What do you mean by 0 pixels?
Okay. I'm going to show you later. It's actually the hardness of your selections. Okay. Now, can you go back to your lotus? Okay. Now, can we go back to your lotus image? Okay. Go back to your lotus image. Now, if you are done with your selection, what must you do? Remember?
Deselect.
Correct. So what must you press?
Control D.
Bagus, pandai, smart, 聪明. Okay. Now remember this step. Now you all can remember, but next week don't forget.
Control D.
Okay. Always remember this step.
I go on the select.
Can you can also go select and then deselect. Okay. Now can we go to your marquee tool now? Select your elliptical marquee. Now this time around, let's try the feather pixels. Okay, we're going to try 10 pixels. Okay, can you type in 10? Then press enter once. It will give you PX automatically. Am I correct? Okay, handphone throw away. Okay, now, okay, can you highlight again the lotus? Do you realize that every time you need to do this step is very troublesome? Am I correct? So later we're going to learn how you can save selections. Okay. Okay, have you done that?
When you let go,
Mm-hmm.
your arrow
Mm-hmm.
with the what is that marquee signers.
Mm-hmm.
But mine is cross. So I cannot.
You mean yours?
There's no drag, right? Okay. When let go, just got arrow with the square sign, right? How come no? You change to
Now is yours is like this, is it?
no cross, big cross and small cross.
Can you press caps lock?
Oh, okay. Same.
Same, Okay, before that, right, can you double check? Is your options here the same as mine? I'm selecting the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now can you deselect everything first? Deselect everything. Now, before you do any selections, make sure you always double check here. Okay. This is to create a new selections. Okay. This is actually to add to selections. That means, for example, if I draw something like this, this is actually, I didn't cover the entire flower, so I need to add on. So I can click on this, then I can go and add. Do you see there's a plus sign? Okay, then I let go, it will cover everything.
This one is the small cross.
Yes.
Now.
Or if you have this, you minus. You see that? I don't want this one. You minus. Do you see that?
Oh, there's a plus.
Yes,
So
there's a
it's
plus.
sign,
Correct. Okay. This is actually to exclude. Okay, let's try this. You see that? You see? But this is not recommendable because usually I will ask you to use the front three tools. Okay, unless you want to create special effects. Okay, now I'm going to try to copy this over to your untitled one. Do you see it's become softer at the edge? Now do you see the effects of using 10 pixels feather? Do you realize that? Okay, I repeat. Okay, you go to your lotus, right? Okay, have you drawn something like this, the selections? Okay, you can try to use this elliptical marquee tool. Make sure you select the first one because right now I'm creating a new selections, right? So I click this, then I go and highlight this. Okay? Okay, highlight already. Then you can move a bit if you need. Okay. Now I still need to add a bit, right? So I need to click this, and I'm going to add this. Okay, and I move in a little bit. Okay. Okay, Miss Catherine, can you show him, please? Thank you. Okay. Now, in order to try how to minus selections, I click here and then I remove. You see, I remove this. Okay. To minus, you must always minus from outside. Okay. Now, do you see my selection here? The flower is inside the selections, right? Okay. Okay, just to add on, now if you use the add to selections, right, make sure you always add from the inside. If you want to minus, you always minus from the outside. Okay, you all understand this? Okay, now I'm going to use on the move tool. Okay, I'm going to click here and move to here. If you already done so, it's fine. Now, can you zoom into this part? Do you see the difference now? One is 0 pixels feather. One is with how many pixels? Can we rename lotus with how many? Okay, 10 pixels. Feather, right? Okay. Mama can see. Now I go to, okay. Okay.
Before you how to start, right? Before you go to the marquee tool.
Okay, usually the marquee tool is for basic shapes like your building, okay? But if you need to customize your selections, that's when you use your lasso tool or your magic wand and quick selections tool, okay? Now, before we go to the lasso tool, right, let's try to use a rectangular marquee tool first. I want to combine to these shapes. So, can we use which one? Which is the tool that we should select? Which is the option?
Combine.
So it should become the second one. Can you, don't dream, follow. Click on the marquee tool, the rectangular one. Make sure also have 0 pixels, and then your star is normal. Okay, now click on the second one. Now you should see there are 2 crosses. Do you see that? Okay, can we click and drag inside something like this? Okay, you see you can combine your selections. Okay, now not only that, you can also transform your selections. Okay, yes. Okay, can we right click inside here? Right click. Do you see transform selections? Can we click once, transform selections? Okay, now you are free to do any adjustment. Do you see that? Do you see it doesn't affect your pixels at all? Okay, if your flower is being distorted, that means you have done something wrong. Right now we are only distorting our selections of the pixels. Okay, it's not the pixels. Okay, you can also right click. Do you see you can flip, rotate all this? Can you all try to explore this first? You see, rotate 180, you will flip this. Right click inside, you see flip vertical, it will become like this. Or you can rotate 90 degrees, oh, it become this. Okay, now this is a preset, right? You can also manually rotate. Put your cursor somewhere like this, outside the diagonal, the corner. Do you see there are 2 ways curved arrow? Okay, click and rotate your selection. You see that? You can rotate them.
Where you get
The box.
the arrow?
Do you have the box already?
Yeah.
You just need to put your cursor outside. like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can turn. Do you see that? Now, whenever you are in the free transform mode, right? If you try to click on other menu, do you see everything has been grayed out? Because whenever you are entering a transformation tool, you are not allowed to do other things unless and you confirm the transformation, then you can do other things. Now, if you can just look at the now, do you see you have this tick icon? This is to confirm your transformation, which is also you can do it by pressing enter. Okay, but if you would like to cancel this transformation, okay, can you either click this or you can press escape button, then it will give you back your original original selections. Do you see that? Okay, now can we right click again? Okay, do you see the transform selections? Okay, let's try to do the distortions. Okay, can you right click one more time inside? Now you should have the free transform, am I correct? You have skew distort. Okay, we're going to try perspective. Okay, click on perspective. Now can you try to do this? Do you see it actually give you a depth? Okay, you see that? Okay, Mr. Kalai, are you at this stage? Have you right click and click free transform? Have you clicked that? Okay. Yes. Okay, perspective, and then you can. Okay, sorry, just now I used the move tool already. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, make sure you use the Marquee Tool and then place inside your lotus. Then you place in within your selection. Then you right click, transform. Okay, transform selections. Okay, not free transform, because when you use free transform, it will transform the pixel. Do you see that? Okay, so don't use free transform, but transform selections. Then you can rotate and you can try to use perspective. You see that? Can you try to explore the other also? Distort and skew. What does it give you? You see that?
Oh, the cursor must be at the.
Yes, at the handle. Yes. Okay. Then you can right click also. Let's try distort. You can actually distort, right? Any point of any angle, you can go and distort them. You see that? Now, for selections, you can distort, no problem. But when it comes to pixels, unless you want to achieve that kind of effect, it's not good to distort your pixels. Okay?
But this one only at the edge there.
On the selection, it's not on the picture itself. Okay? Now, if you want, you can also try to use the warp. Okay? You see, warping is it's like very curvy. You see it? This is what I use to touch up the girls where their skirt are way too revealing. Okay? When I use it to cover the students, remember I told you all, the ladies, the girls, sometimes they jump too high or they forgot to cover. So I will use this to cover back for them. I use a warping, you see that? Okay. Now, my recommendation to you is always right click and do all the necessary transformation first before you press enter. Do not go to, okay, now I transform transformation, then I rotate, then I press enter, then I transform again, then I press distort again. This one will destroy the pixel if you were to transform pixels. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to click, or you can either press enter to confirm your transformation. Okay. You see, just now from the selections, we really transform into these selections. If I were to ask you to draw something like this, are you able to do so? It's very difficult, right? So you see, with the transformation, you can do a lot of things. Okay. Now, always have this habit. Go back to your first icon once you're done. Okay, remember this?
So press enter.
Press enter to confirm your transformations. Then always go back to your first icon, which is this. Okay. Otherwise, later, next time when you use the selection, you will always either add or remove. Okay. Yes.
Why must be in 0 pixels?
This one.
Yeah.
This is keep. Do you? Wait. Now, can you go back to untitled one? Go back to your untitled one. Okay. Can you read what is the pixels here? First layer is actually 0 pixels, right? So you have the hard edges like this. But when you use feather pixels, okay, right now this is the effect we get when we use 10 pixels feather. Okay, teacher, do you share with him about this soft and soft edges? Yes, it gives you the soft effect. Okay. So in this case, I do not want to have the soft edge. That's why I did not put in the 10 pixels. I use 0 pixel instead. Okay. Did I answer your questions? Okay. Now I go back to this marquee. Now can we change to elliptical now? Elliptical. Now do you notice that your elliptical, right? They will remember what was your last use options. Do you see that? Now do you see what's the reason why I always ask you to check the option bar here? Go back to Lotus. Okay. Change to elliptical marquee tool. Okay. Now I'm going to continue with this. I want to remove the selections. Now, if you want to remove selections, it should be coming out from the outside or from the inside. Outside. So in this case, let's try to drag outside until like this. Do you see that you are actually forming a very unique selection? Okay. So for your creepers or your hatches, sometimes you can do this also. Then you don't have to puff up so nicely. Because anyway, yours is very easy because it's all the leaf. So you can actually cheat people. Okay. Anyhow, you can join together as well. Yes. Because yours you need to decorate nicely and put at a certain angle. Okay. Okay. Now, if you can also use the selection tool and then drag that. But now I want to play safe. Okay. What I want to do, because now, do you notice that this selection is quite complicated? Do you think we want to lose these selections just like that? So ideally, it's best that you save the selections, right? So can you go back to your Marquee tool first? Go back to your Marquee tool. Right click on the selections. Inside the selections, right click. Now, do you see save selections? Can you click save selections? Okay, can you give it a name? Now, this destination is actually this document. We are saving inside this document, but selections can be only saved inside a channel. Okay, later I'm going to expect the channel. Now, this channel automatically they will give you a new, because in these pictures you have, okay, what is the color mode of this? RGB. That means how many channels you have? How many channels you have? 3. Red channel, green channel, and blue channel. Okay, so if you have CMYK, how many channels you have? If you have CMYK, how many channels you have? 4. Okay, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Now, I'm going to give it a name. Okay, I just put all. Now, you see that operation is new channel. Now, they can't use the existing channel. Remember I told you this is RGB, right? So how many channels you have currently in this document? You have 3 channels. What are the 3? Red, green, blue. Okay, now we click OK. Okay, now can you kindly go to your channels, panels? Do you see you have RGB? Okay, red, green, blue. Okay, you can go to window, go to channel.
green blue odd.
Odd, ODD, because this is an odd shape. Okay, but a picture can never have only 3 channels because, okay, let me refresh this. Because this is a color mode, RGB color mode, so what you see should be a combination of 3 channels. Am I correct? That's why you have one channel called RGB. It's a composite of all channels. Now, please help me to remember this, because right, whenever you're going to work on something, always ensure you do not click one of the channels, because if, for example, if I click on red channel, right, later whatever changes I do, it will only affect the red color channels. This will give you trouble because you are not working on the composite RGB channel. Okay, so remember, whenever you come to channel, please, before you go back to layers panel, ensure that you are selecting the first channel, which is RGB. Same goes to CMYK. Okay? Okay, now you already saved this channel, right? Before you go back to layers panels, can you ensure that you are clicking on the RGB? Okay? Because if you left like this, this is something very wrong already. Remember this, please? So before you go to layers channel, what must you do? Click on RGB. Same goes to CMYK. Okay, now let's go back to our layers. Okay, now can you deselect this? How to deselect? Okay, or you can press Ctrl D to deselect. Now, suddenly I regret. I need to call back the selection. How? So you can go to, you don't need to go to channel first. Go to select. Okay, that's one of the options. But what if you have closed the file already? Okay. Okay, let's deselect again first. Okay. Can you go to select? Do you see load selections? The last third options. Click once. Now, right now we only have one channel called odd. That's why it will select for you automatically. Okay. Now, can you click OK? You see, your effort will not be wasted.
So was not got last lesson. I mean, our last.
Never mind. Pass is pass.
But this one is
But is it will be taught?
Yes.
Oh, was not.
this is in the syllabus.
Never mind. Forgiving is very
I think
lah,
dia
it's not
loving.
fair also lah.
no, I think dia sampai sini ya. No, I think
Put in some experience.
Okay, now you have already loaded back the selections, right? Okay, I'm going to Control D to remove these selections. Now, just now we actually go to select and then load selections to call up this selection. Am I correct? This is very troublesome, right? Because you need to click, click, click. Now, I'm going to show you a shortcut. Go to the channels.
Okay, but let's say you get the selection.
Okay, so let's go to the channels. Now, do you see your odd channel here? Put your cursor here until you see a finger. Okay, hold down Control. Hold down Control. Do you see there's another extra dotted rectangle? Okay, hold down your Control and then click once. Then you let go of your Control. Do you see your selections has been loaded up? So this is the method. Compared to just now, you go to select, go to load selections, go to odd. I repeat this. Okay? Do you need me to repeat? Don't need? Do you understand?
I understand, but for what?
Okay. Remember just how we spend time to do these selections?
Yeah.
Okay?
So I deselect first, eh?
Yes, you deselect first.
To retrieve.
Now, because I already spent time to have these unique selections, so it's good that for me to save one selection. Do you agree? So in future, I can call up when I need them. Do you get me so far? So I show you the first method, which is you go to select, Then you go to load selection. Am I correct? Just now, remember that? You can call up your odd selection like this. Do you remember this step?
Oh, to retrieve
To retrieve
correct.
back the selections.
Okay.
Now I show you the shortcut, which is you come here.
Shortcut for retrieve the
Yes,
selection.
you hold down Control, then you click once. Immediately you get the selections already. Hold down Control, then you click on the thumbnail.